Hey guys, today I'm with Brooke from Be for the Day. We're going to talk about wedding planners and all the fun stuff that they can do for you. So Brooke, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, thanks for joining us here. I am the owner and founder of Be for the Day Wedding Planning and Consulting. Started my business in 1996, and originally it was just me doing weddings, and then I started bringing on team members and what we call Bees, and additional wedding coordinators so that we were able to take more than one wedding in a weekend. We are a strictly coordinating company. We only coordinate weddings. We don't provide any rentals. We don't provide any design per se. If you want assistance with designing, we can help you with that, but that's in addition to us coordinating and consulting for you and making the event happen. We are kind of the original wedding planners in Northwest Ohio. When I started the business 27 years ago, there were no other wedding coordinators in the city.
Wow.
There have been some that have come and have gone, and some that have kind of burnt their own path as well, but we've consistently stayed the sole wedding coordinating company that just does wedding coordinating. We don't do anything additional in that regard. So a lot of people think of, when they hear Be for the Day, they think of day of coordinator, because that's really one of the things that we do is day of, but that's because that's what people see us doing, is working on the day of the wedding. They don't realize all the behind the scenes things that come into play. So many of our inquiries say, hey, we're looking for a day of coordinator. Absolutely, but did you know that you also will get this, and this? Because in order for us to execute things on the day of, we want to make sure that brides are aware of the extra stuff that goes into the wedding planning and the day of.
Do you think that all couples need a wedding planner?
So I think if a couple is looking at having a wedding coordinator, they know from the gate what they're going to be capable of. You know, you have the brides who we get the email a month before their wedding. That's kind of the month freak out where they've been planning everything, they put everything together, and all of a sudden they realize, wait a minute, on the day of, who is going to fill in the blank? Who is going to do this and this and this and this? Because they've been doing it all along. And that's why I think a lot of brides think, oh, I just want a day of coordinator. We absolutely, if the calendar allows us, we absolutely can pick up a file, a month out and come in and help you and literally save the day, be for the day. But we don't recommend that, only because our calendars with the pandemic, our calendars have become so full that we're not able to add any more to our list, because we really do only take a certain number of weddings, because that's all we're capable of taking on a wedding in a weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how many weddings do you do in a weekend? Do you have a limit? Or?
Well, we finally have found kind of our spot that works and what doesn't work. We take up to 5 to 7 weddings in a weekend, but it has to be a perfect storm. I have 23 Bs that work for me currently, and every wedding requires 2 coordinators, or we provide 2 coordinators at every wedding. And so it's a perfect storm or a perfect fit. So if I have 5 coordinators working, but I still have 2 that are available to take, I could take on another wedding. But it really is a scheduling thing more than a capacity thing. Because if you think about it, every wedding that we work with a vendor, there's at least 10 other vendors involved in that wedding day. So from your DJ to the florist to the officiant to the photographer to the videographer to the venue coordinator, right there's 6 people, just basic, not talking about your decorators and your transportation, all of the parts of the wedding. So, and we're actually working in conjunction with them, allowing them to do their part, and then we're actually the conductor of the whole thing.
Yes, and that is what I always tell our couples about, whether or not they need a planner. I'm like, you can put all these details together leading up to the day, but like having a person on the actual wedding day who knows all of that stuff and can be the person, the go-to person for all those different things, that's like worth, it's priceless.
Well, and that's exactly what I've created Be for the Day to be, is that company that allows brides to stay in control until the day of, when they shouldn't be in control anymore.
Exactly.
Like if you want someone to execute your day, you're going to look at maybe your maid of honor, or you're going to look at your mom, or your fiance. Those people should be enjoying the day as well. We have an area actually on our website that's called The Hive. and you know about the
Yes, I
Hive.
do.
The Hive is an area where we actually are giving our brides tips and tricks. It's like the Angie's List of Weddings 101 in Northwest
It's amazing.
Ohio.
Yeah.
And it's really a place where brides can log in once they're our client. They log in and it has everything listed from every recommended photographer, DJ, all the people that we've worked with, the full thing. And you stay in control of that.
Yeah.
And then we just take it from there.
I think you guys are also really good with making yourselves useful for whatever the couple needs. So
Yes.
if a couple wants you to like choose all those things and be all hands-on, you are, you know, and
That's
I feel
so
like
funny.
at a different level, if someone just needs certain things, then you're that too, right?
I find that couples will say to us, I know who I want for my cake and I know who I want for my florist, but I don't know who to use for a photography. Do I want moody and dark or do I want light and airy? And I'll be like, okay, let me give you 3 suggestions.
Yes.
Again, I try to stay out of the price making with them. That's not my business.
Yeah.
I do help with budgets, knowing where their budgets are, but you know that I don't come in and say, okay, can you negotiate a better price?
Yeah.
Can you take care of this or whatever? I feel like that should be a contract between the client and the vendor.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I differ from some coordinators or like national, what a lot of coordinators do. They get involved and they charge basically on a percentage rate where Bee for the Day does not.
Okay.
A lot of, some other coordinators nationally will charge on a percentage of what the wedding price is, rather than an hourly rate, which is what we charge on an hourly rate. That way brides can decide how much they really want to use us and what area that we will come in and participate with them and how much they want to use us for.
Yeah, and how hands-on they are.
How hands-on and how involved.
Okay, so we talked a lot about day of and what your bees are doing, which brings me to another question I have. So we recently at a wedding, I saw I saw one of your bees had actually a suitcase with stuff in it, and I was like, that was the most amazing like emergency kit. So what can couples expect your bees to have?
First of all, I think it's hilarious that you noticed it
It was amazing.
it is truly a little like travel on suitcase.
Yeah.
It cannot go on planes though because it has.
Is it too big? Oh, it's got all this
it
stuff.
has all the things that we're not allowed to carry on a plane.
Yes.
So when we do travel like out of state and we're flying, we have to like check the bag.
Oh my gosh,
But
yeah.
normally most of the bees, your lead bees and your worker bees, will have one emergency kit for every wedding.
Yeah.
And the emergency kit is literally 27 years of mistakes and things that we've needed. So if we're at a wedding and we need duct tape, and we go to the emergency kit, and now every emergency kit has duct tape in it.
Oh my gosh.
We have chalk. Do you know what you use chalk for? Chalk is in it because if a bride gets a stain on her dress, if she has the right type of fabric and there's oil on the dress, you can use chalk to kind of bring that oil up out of the dress. Now you have to test it first. So of course I would never just put chalk on chalk on a dress. I've actually used chalk. We had a wedding that we did out in Sandusky last year, and they wanted to write on the wall that they were getting in front of, and they wanted to write their wedding date. And chalk washes off, so we had chalk in the kit, and we're like, wait a minute, I can write the date on the wall. So that was fun. So we wrote the date on the wall. That was
so it was a use
clever.
that you
A use that I didn't
intended it for.
Exactly.
Oh,
And we do that a lot. There was an old television show called MacGyver, and we always say we're MacGyvering it, but we're actually beeifying it. So we're taking care of it in the bees way instead of the MacGyver way.
Nice.
But we use a lot of, obviously there's a sewing kit in everyone, but there's wire cutters because we have to cut down flowers to move them sometimes for a florist.
Yeah.
You know, they have them when they're assembling it.
Yeah.
But we'll use the emergency kit for that.
So another question that I want to ask is for our couples to know when they should book you. So when should couples be reaching out for you? You know, how far in advance?
So as I said earlier, or as I said, we can take weddings up to, a month out to be able to kind of dump their brains of all of the stuff that they've been gathering and working without us. Like if the calendars allows, they can hire us up to a month out.
Okay.
I don't recommend that though, but just because once we reach our maximum number of weddings, our capacity, we close out the weekend and then it's a no.
Yeah.
So I would say right now we're booking out obviously into 2022. We're still taking a few weddings in 2021 on weekends that are kind of sparse, but for the most part, I would say at least 6 to 9 months out. Our phrase that we use around here a lot is the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. right?
It's amazing.
Yeah, proper planning prevents poor performance. So when we can properly plan for the things that are going to happen, we're preventing a poor performance. But what it's also doing is it's preparing us for when, not if, something goes wrong.
Yeah.
We're able to focus on that problem or that thing that's going wrong because we've got everything else in place, knowing what's happening.
Mind blowing. It's amazing. Awesome. Okay, so let's end on your number one piece of advice or tip for couples who are maybe specifically 2022 couples who are just now starting out planning. Do you have a one big thing you want to tell them?
Follow the Instagram posts. Learn and meet your people that you're going to be working with.
Yeah.
But don't compare yourself to the ones that are getting it done.
Yeah.
Do not compare yourself. Your wedding is going to be authentic to the couple.
Yeah.
And our job is to make sure that it's authentic to it. Like, I don't want to know what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge.
Yeah, 100%.
That's my advice. Don't compare yourself to the other couples out there.
That is it. It's a wedding, and that's what that is why I love doing weddings, is because every wedding is so unique, and every couple is so special in their own way. They have their own traditions and things that they do.
Even if it's the same, even if you get introduced and you come in and you cut your cake and you do your first dance, those things are going to happen because you want your traditional
That's
things.
a wedding. Yeah.
But don't compare.
Yeah.
Like, when you leave, you want it to be your day. The way that you've always envisioned it. And maybe you don't know what it was, and be authentic in that.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't know some people don't dream of their wedding every,
and that's
leading up
okay.
to it. They just want to have a good time. Okay, so how can people find you? How should they reach out to you? Where do we start?
Okay, we are still old school. We have a website. I guess you don't say the www anymore.
No.
You just say it's beefortheday.com. So befortheday.com.
Perfect.
And really quick, it's befortheday.com. Also, we're on Instagram, Facebook. And the best way is to just pick up the phone and call us.
Okay.
We love it when you inquire through our website so that we have a good flow. We're on the Knot, we're on Wedding Wire, but some of those get a little tricky or a little sticky, so we'd rather you just come straight through our website.
Okay, and we'll link to all that stuff
good.
below and make sure everyone has access to that.
I was going to tell you a funny story about how we got our name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People are always like, how did you get the name B for the Day?
Yeah.
Okay, obviously my name is Brooke, and B is my handle. People call me B. My grandkids call me Grandma B. Aunt B, I'm an Aunt B.
Yeah.
So that B was just always the letter.
Yeah.
But I needed a day where I was like, oh wait, I need something that people think of when they see, I needed a brand, right?
Yeah.
So we did the bee, like a buzzing bee. Because the buzzing bee does the impossible, right?
Yeah.
She flies with that big fat belly with those tiny little wings, and she can get off the ground and fly. And so she does the impossible every single time she takes off.
Oh my God.
So every single wedding that we do the impossible by trying to keep anything from getting to our couple to take away the joy and take away the excitement of their day. So we're doing the impossible all the time.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for having us.
It's my pleasure. I'm so glad you could take time to come down and see our space.
Of course. Well, thank you guys. Obviously, comment below if you have any questions for Brooke, and we'll be sure to get them to her and help you out. Go follow them on the social medias and all that fun, and check them out on their website.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.